I'm going to play a couple of clips for you here of a statement and an interview that Donald Trump produced and gave a few days ago in relation to what's going on in Afghanistan. And I have to tell you, if a Democratic president had downplayed 9/11 and Osama bin Laden the way that Donald Trump does in this interview, they would be getting covered on Fox News as unpatriotic traitors 24 hours a day, probably for a week or longer. OK, let's take a listen to this first clip. This is Donald Trump on the Sean Hannity program.
Look at al-Baghdadi. He was the founder of ISIS. We took him out. Nobody could find him for 15 years. Far bigger than Osama bin Laden, far bigger. Osama bin Laden, bad, and he hit the World Trade Center, and it was a horrible thing. But al-Baghdadi was the founder of ISIS.
So there is Donald Trump downplaying 9/11, saying what's the core of this? Obama got Osama, and Trump wants to say, I did better, I did more, as well as justify the idea, unfounded, that had he overseen the withdrawal from Afghanistan rather than Joe Biden, it would have gone much better. We have no evidence to suggest that. Everything Trump did turned to crap. So there's no reason to believe that Donald Trump would have handled the retreat from Afghanistan any better than did Joe Biden. But Trump is downplaying the importance of Osama bin Laden's capture and being killed, and downplaying by virtue of doing that 9/11. If a Democratic president did this, they would be calling for the head of such a Democrat. Donald Trump also during this interview talking about ISIS-X, which sounds like a band more than a terrorist group. Take a listen to this.
And ISIS-X, as you know, I knocked out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. I knocked it out. In Syria, Iraq, we knocked it out. So now they have a new ISIS called ISIS-X.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think back. I might have gone to high school, in fact, with the with the bassist for ISIS-X. Anyway, here is Donald Trump then in talking about ending the war in Afghanistan. He actually says he did want to keep troops there. Take a listen to this.
But we had to get out with dignity. We had to take our $80 billion worth of equipment. We had to do all of the things that we had to do. And then I would have blown up all the air bases, but I would have kept Bagram, because Bagram's located right next to China, right near China and Iran. And it's in Afghanistan. So we had the whole group covered. They spent $10 billion building it, and we handed out the keys.
So understand how amazing that is. For all the talk about Trump was going to get us out, which he failed to do, for all of that talk, and then now the criticism, which I think is a fair criticism, I don't want Biden sending people back in. But for all the criticism of saying Joe got us out and caused chaos, but then he's also not really getting us out because he's sending people back in, Trump is admitting there, I would have kept people there to keep Bagram. We would have done it. So even Trump's full removal of troops from Afghanistan, he admits there, would not even actually have been a full removal. And the most important point here is there's no empirical reason to think that Donald Trump would have done a good job. There's no historical reason. Last thing, Trump put out a statement about Afghanistan, one of these direct to camera things, and it was published on Fox News' Sean Hannity program. Why? Maybe because Trump has lost access to all of his other platforms for spreading disinformation. I don't know. But let's take a listen to a little bit of that.
As one nation, America mourns the loss of our brave and brilliant American service members in a savage and barbaric terrorist attack in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
These noble American warriors laid down their lives in the line of duty. They sacrificed themselves for the country that they loved, racing against time to rescue their fellow citizens from harm's way. They died as American heroes, and our nation will honor their memory forever. I want to express my deepest condolences to the families of those we have lost. Today, all Americans grieve alongside you. Together, we also pray that God will heal the other courageous American service members who were wounded in this heinous attack. In addition, our hearts are with the families of all the innocent civilians who died, and with the many men, women, and children who were terribly injured in this act of evil. This tragedy should never have taken place. It should never have happened, and it would not have happened if I were your president.
And of course, it almost certainly would have happened if Donald Trump were president. So the important points here are, as I mentioned at the top of the show, this is the perfect story for Monday morning quarterbacking. Getting out of Afghanistan was the right decision by Joe Biden. It was a decisive decision, and predictably, it led to chaos. Go back to my clips about when Donald Trump was looking at doing this. It predictably led to chaos and tragedy and death. And that has to be dealt with. And Joe Biden has a crisis on his hands. But this idea that Trump would have done it right is an absolutely pathetic, bogus idea for which we have no evidence at all. There's simply no reason to think Trump would have handled this well, because he handled nothing well. We'll have more on this on the David Pakman Show Instagram. Find us there at David Pakman Show. One of our sponsors is Blue Block's blue light glasses. I've sometimes had issues falling asleep at night, eventually realized some of it might be coming from the blue light emitted by my phone and computer screens. Peer-reviewed studies show blue light can suppress the hormone melatonin, which can make it hard to fall asleep because your sleep rhythms are disturbed. I've seen a lot of improvement since I started using blue light glasses from Blue Blocks. Most companies make blue light glasses in a mass-produced way with no quality standards, but Blue Block's glasses are made in actual optics labs in their Australian headquarters. They have over 40 modern frames you can choose from. They have a prescription version, non-prescription, even reading glasses. And for every pair of glasses Blue Block sells, they give a pair of reading glasses to someone in need. You'll get 20% off when you go to blueblocks.com/Pakman. The link is right underneath the video, and there's also free shipping worldwide on orders over $115.